Yeah.
Poppin' T Squad, it's me, Keisha, and I'm here with this week's All Tea All Shade BMF Season 2, Episode 2 review. Let's get right into it. So, the episode begins with Terry and his dad discussing the limousine service. They cannot get on the same boat as far as everything is concerned because Charles want to run everything and want to tell Terry how to do it, when to do it, and all of this type of stuff. And Terry had to remind him, like, my money is the one that got us this business. And you need to start, including me in on things. But his daddy ain't trying to hear nothing that he's trying to say. He feel like, I'm the daddy, you do what I say. We're going to hire a third driver. You need to, finish school because we still expect you to graduate. Everything that he said was valid, but he tends to forget that this is Terry's money that got them this business. Like, you didn't put in on this, sir. So I need for you to respect me and treat me as an equal and not like you did all of this. We then see Meech with KG. I think that was his name, KG or KJ. Excuse me if I got it wrong. They had like a Dairy Queen or whatever, and they with KG and his little chick Peaches or whatever. And he's schooling Meech on, once you get deep into this, you need to start investing in like a Dairy Queen or whatever so you can start, cleaning your money and, have legit businesses. And Meech tries to give him the money that he owed him in a Crown Royal bag and slide it across the table. And dude looked at him like, if you don't get this, boy, have you lost your mind? He was like, give it back to me the way I gave it to you. Like, first of all, you don't do this out in public, Meech. Like, what are you doing? And next thing you know, as they sitting eating they Oreo McFlurries, this dude come riding down the street on some blicky type time, trying to, shoot up the place. They shooting back or whatever. They try to get dude, but he end up jumping out the whip and running, but he left one of his shoes behind, and KG was like, oh, we gonna get this Cinderella MF'er, because he figured that this gotta be some kin or a friend of the dude that, he pow-powed on last week's episode after the basketball game. So he was like, I'm not letting this go. Like, oh no, girlfriend, you will not try to run up on me and think you gonna get away with it. So Lucille is cleaning up the house, and I think she found her husband Charles like a tar pick or something like that. So she went to go put it back in his case, and as she was putting it back in the case, she ended up coming across a girly magazine. And she is full into Jesus and the Holy Spirit, and that just rocked her little world. She didn't know what to do with it, and she heard him coming, so she hurried up and put it back into the case, but she was visibly shaking, and he saw it. He was like, what's wrong with you? She was like, oh, nothing, Nicole still need bras, and I don't like the fact that you not coming with me to go see my mama for her birthday. And he was like, we got to run this business, we got to get this money, like we got a whole new business that we started, like I'll be able to get her some new bras in a minute. Like, just give me a second. And she like, no, like she need new bras now, not them little dingy hand-me-down ones that your Meemaw gave her. She needs some new ones. And she's just disgusted with him at this point, because not only are you looking at girly magazines, but you still broke. And then you want me to lay on my back and spread it wide for you, and we barely even got money for milk. Like, absolutely not, sir. Absolutely not. Like, she is just disgusted with Charles. So after that, we see Lucille and Nicole at the store getting her some brassieres, and the checkout girl was like, you can open your credit card, get 10% off. At first she didn't want to do it because that's putting them in even more debt, but then she was like, you know what, I'm going to treat myself. I'm tired of being broke and shopping at Goodwill and scrimping and surviving on some good times type time. Like, no, I'm gonna get this credit card and we gonna go shopping. So Nicole was like, oh, for real, mama? She was like, yeah, pick out what you want. Get you a good bra, girl. Get you one of them Victoria's Secrets one, honey. Okay? So they get to running that card up, child, in that store. The next thing we see is Charles getting on Terry about his behavior with the limousine business, because Terry got mad at one of his passengers that was trying to tell him how to drive and the directions and where to go, and he put the white man out on the side of the curb, child. And Charles was like, you gotta, handle yourself better. You just can't be going off on everybody and acting a donkey, which I agree. But Terry is used to being the boss and not listening to nobody, so it's hard for him to play that subservient role, and his daddy don't get that because that's what his daddy has been doing his whole life, is working for the man and being on some yes sir, yes sir, okay sir type time. So B Mickey is at the hospital visiting his mother who is sickly, and he noticed sees these flowers, and he was like, "Where them come from?" And she was like, "Some handsome man who said he was your boss." So he like, "My boss?" Like, like what's going on? And after that, we see Meech telling Terry that he is in fact going to Cleveland with their mama and Nicole because he gear to expand, BMF business out there, and he's gonna use their little cousin. And Terry like, dude, he's still a teenager, he's still wet behind the ears, like you don't even like him for real. He was like, dude, that was in the past. I'm trying to get this money, I'm trying to expand. You sitting over there trying to be the limousine man, you do that and mind your business, because I still don't mess with you because you left me, high and dry. Like Meech still feeling some type of way. So after that, we see Detective Bryant was the one that actually sent B Mickey mama the flowers. And he was like, I need some information on Meech. Like, I need for you to turn information over on him. And dude was like, he'll be out of town over the next couple of days, so there is nothing that I can give you, even if I wanted to. So he tells him, look, you got 72 hours. Miss Lady, or your mama won't know where you at, okay? Because you'll be locked up in the clinker. So B Mickey is just like, what am I gonna do? But I'm not understanding why he just won't go to Meech and tell him that dude is pressing him. Like, just tell him the truth, that he's trying to get dirt on you and using me, so y'all can just handle the situation and get rid of him. Duh. So I'm not understanding why B Mickey on that type of time. Now, his real life character was never on that. You know what I'm saying? He never was on no snakes type of time with Terry and Meech. The only reason why he didn't continue to work with Meech and Terry once they became at the biggest of their, food chain, was because Meech ended up leaving Detroit, and that's when he went to, I think it was Los Angeles. That's where he went first, and then he ended up going to Atlanta. And I think they just ended up parting ways or whatever, but it was never no beef or nothing like that. But I like what they're doing with his character on the show. Even though B Mickey is so cute, he looked like a little young Ralph Tresvant. He is just so cute, the actor that plays him. But anywho, I digress. So after that, we see Terry visit Markeisha at the bank or wherever she work at, and he been bringing her business, and he ended up taking the brochures because he's been using other people brochures to save costs on him having to buy brochures for their limousine company. And she gives him advice on how to propel the limousine company by going out to the airport, because that's where all the big money people are. She was like, you need to be looking at people, with suits and stuff like that on. Like, you need to, diversify your clientele. So he was like, all right, you hungry? Let's go get you, some lunch or whatever. So while they at the grocery store, she further putting him up on game, like, you need to be getting some Ferrero Rocher, some Capri Suns, some little sandwiches without the crust, some PB&J, some bottled water for these people. You gotta class it up. You know what I'm saying? And don't be saying, hey, yo, what up? Act like you got some sense. Don't speak in broken English, okay? Step it up. Step your game up. Step your coochie up, all right? So Terry like, okay, like, she put me up on game. I'm feeling that. Like, not only is she cute, but she's smart and she a hustler. Now, real life Markeisha, whose real name is Tonasia, who is Terry's girlfriend or whatever, I don't believe they're together anymore right about now. You guys were saying that they are, but I've been going on her page and his page, and after last week's episode, she had posted that she was upset with the fact that they hired Lala to play her without consulting her or anything. She didn't like the fact that they hired somebody that was light-skinned because she's not light-skinned. She also put that she was upset that nobody told her or consulted her about any of this, and she basically was putting like subliminals like Terry screwed her over by not allowing her to be in on the process of her character on this show. She took it down. But I wish I would have screenshot it. But it seems like there's trouble in paradise, and I really honestly feel that I've noticed that when Terry first got out of jail, Meech wasn't messing. Lil Meech was not messing with him. He never tagged his uncle. He never said nothing to his uncle. Like, there was nothing between them up until like the last maybe like 6 months. Now, they're in photos together, you know, videos together. I think that Lil Meech wasn't messing with his uncle because his daddy wasn't really messing with his uncle. But I feel like they must have come, you know, to some type of understanding, because I don't believe Meech liked Tonasia. So maybe if they're not together, that's the reason why Meech and Lil Meech are, you know, back messing with Terry. But yeah, it's some stuff going on there in that whole situation. But I would feel some type of way too if I was Tonasia, that y'all have made a whole character based on me and nobody consulted me. Like, that's messed up. But that's a part of the game. So after that, we see Lamar choke out the detective that was sitting outside his door to make sure that he didn't escape. Well, he ended up pulling the plug, and the dude came in, white man came in to see what was going on. He snuck up in behind him and choked him out, child, so he could escape. And I was like, this killer is on the loose, and I am excited about the mayhem that is about to ensue. So Detective Bryant has lunch with Detective Veronica Jen and lets her know that Lamar has escaped, and they got pretty much APB out on him trying to find him. And I don't know if it was just me, but I feel like there is going to be a love connection between Detective Bryant and Detective Jen, because, you know, they were sitting down having authentic Chinese food, and, you know, he was afraid of it, thinking it was going to be some cats and dogs in there. I think they're going to have more than just a platonic relationship. I see a romance ensuing between these two. So after that, we see Terry come home to tell his daddy about what happened at the airport, how he picked up, you know, these black people who wouldn't get picked up by other, you know, limousine drivers, and was driving them to places that other limousine drivers would not take them. He was like, I think we got a lucrative business here. But once again, Charles don't want to listen to nobody. He feel like they need to stick with what they've been doing, hire another driver. And once again, Terry is like, dude, like, this is just not your business. This is our business, and I need for you to start treating it as such. Now, y'all let me know, is the father in real life deceased? Because I never see him like in photographs or in documentaries or anything like that. I know when they all got knocked that the daddy had got in trouble too, because a lot of their property and stuff was in his name. So y'all let me know if OG still alive, or is he gone. After that, we see B Mickey on the phone with Meech, and Meech basically telling him, I need you to, you know, get down here and handle this business with me, because I want you to touch down in Cleveland. But while they on the phone, here go Detective Brian, bam, bam, bamming on the dang on door. And Meech like, who was that? He was like, no, they was just a TV or whatever. Lying. And so he get off the phone with Meech, and he like, dude, like, I was like on the phone with my mama, you know, hospital or whatever. So Detective Brian ended up calling his bluff and tries to, you know, hit redial on the number. And he was like, all right. I'll tell you the truth or whatever. That was Meech. So B Mickey tells him that Meech wants him to secure a meeting between him and the Bubs up in 6 Mile, and gives him the location of where everything was supposed to go down. And I'm like, dang, B Mickey, like, you straight up snitching on your boy. Like, dang, you cannot be trusted. Like, oh wow. Like, I understand he gotta do what he gotta do and take care of him and his, but like, y'all supposed to be brothers. Like, he straight up look at you like you family. Like, why won't you just tell him what's going on, sir? We then go back to the airport, and we see Terry trying to talk to the other drivers about boycotting this security guard that's charging them fees to park at the curb. Like, he was like, dude cannot even do this. Like, that's not even legal. But everybody's scared to go up against the dude because it's something that's been in set in stone for quite some time, and they ain't trying to mess up their business. So at some point he ended up cussing the dude out and was like, we ain't none of us giving you no more money. And so all the other dudes then rallied behind him. This white man come up to him and was like, oh, thanks for that. Are you a part of the Flannery limousine service? And he was like, yeah. So dude was like, don't ever use our flyers again. And Terry was like, man, get your weird ass away from me. So I noticed that the camera made sure to zoom in on the other limousine company, which was titled Touch of Class Car Service. And he threatened Terry that, oh, we're going to have some issues. So it's about to be some issues between the Flannery limousine service and this Touch of Class limousine service. I honestly feel like this Touch of Class limousine service might be tied to some mob type stuff. So I think that's a whole nother storyline that's about to kick off. On top of taking the other company's flyers, Terry then is able to scoop up this white lady who would normally have gone to the other car service, and dude was really looking at him like, oh, we gonna get you. So as he's driving the lady to her destination, he ends up seeing all of these police checkpoints. And so he asks the officer, like, where are they gonna be set up? And they tell him. So he thinking in his head, like, dang, like, okay, this about to be a problem, because he knew that Meech was going to have B. Mickey take this product. And he knew that that would end up, getting them in trouble. So he ends up going over to the record store and asking where B. Mickey is at. And of course, they don't know where B. Mickey is at, Lil Zane and them. And he was like, give me the work. And they was like, no, like, you ain't even a part of this no more. Like, you can't come in here telling us what to do. And he was like, yo, don't play with me. So they end up giving him the work or whatever. And Terry's steady trying to get a hold of Meech. He finally get him on the phone. And Meech like, dude, stop calling me. You clogging up the line. Like, get off my phone or whatever. Because, he still ain't messing with his brother. But Terry is, trying to do him a solid and making sure they don't get in trouble. So he, like I said, gets the product. And then he goes over to his baby mama LaWanda house and was like, won't y'all take a ride with me down to Cleveland so my grandmama could see you and the baby? And at first she kind of like, that's weird. Like, when you want to kick it with us? Like, I thought you were still mad at me. But she decides to go. But the gag is he lies to her and tell her that he got the baby some, milk and some Pampers or whatever. But he actually takes the baby milk, the Enfamil or whatever, and throws it out and replaces it with the Coke. So they're able to get through, the traffic stops without having any problems, if they did. So on the way there, of course, Terry ends up getting stopped by the police, but they're able to make it out or whatever without any issues. But he was nervous, child. If that wonky eye was working, it would have been twitching. Now, back in Cleveland, Lucille has revealed to her mama all of the troubles that she's been going through in her marriage, and how broke they are, and how tired she is, and how Meech is selling drugs, and everything is just bad. And the mama was just like, you a strong person. I didn't like the fact that you married Charles. Don't nobody like Charles, child. But she was like, you a strong person. God got you, and you gonna make it through this, pretty much. And Lucille needed that encouragement from her mama. I love Lucille. Shout out to Lucille. So Terry ends up arriving in Cleveland with LaWanda and the baby, and Meech like, what you doing here? And he was like, you can't say thank you, after he gives him the work, and was like, if it wasn't for me, y'all are be in a whole nother situation. And Meech was like, man, mind your business. You can't have one foot in and one foot out. Either you in or you not. Until then, basically, stay up out my face. Like, Meech is not giving him an inch at all. So inside the house, Meech goes into the baby bag to get the product, and he noticed that a can is missing. They all searching through the house for the can, child. Lucille in the kitchen, the dining room, about to fix the baby a bottle, not knowing that it's Coke. And they Terry run over, is like, my mama, I'll make the bottle. Now, if you paid attention, when she scooped out some of the Coke or whatever, it got on her hand. So I'm thinking they should have clarified it more. Like, he told her, like, to go wash her hands or something like that, because she would have got a contact high. Like, But okay, it's television. It is what it is. But I thought that scene was quite funny. So Meech ends up dropping off the work to the dudes in Cleveland that his little cousin linked them up with. And the deal was for them to get a higher percentage than the Cleveland dude, because he the one providing them with the work. He they plug. But when he get there, the dude end up switching up on him and saying that he want a bigger cut. This his city. You gonna do what I do, or we gonna f y'all up pretty much. So they was outnumbered. So Meech was like, all right, y'all got it. I'ma see you. It's cool. So then we see Brian telling the task force about Meech's meetup, that his source gave him this information. They like, yo, source. Okay, we so tired of hearing you and this source, but Detective Jen sticks up for him. And I was like, girl, you better protect your black man. You better have your black man back, honey. So we then see Terry come home to see Charles has hired a third driver, some white lady that he used to work with. And he like, dude, I thought we discussed this, that we're going to be partners. Like, you just can't be making decisions on my behalf without me. Like, but Charles, once again, is not trying to hear nothing that Terry is saying. And we all know that this work relationship between them is not going to continue, because Charles is hard-headed. He get on my nerves. He think he know everything. He always trying to run something. And I'm like, dude, you living through your damn kids and your wife. Like, everybody is the provider but you. But you steady trying to run something. Get out of here. So Meech ends up pulling a fast one on the dude that played him down in Cleveland by helping his mama bring in the groceries to the house. Dude come in the kitchen and see Meech, and he looking like, I know you lying. Oh, I know you lying, Satan. But of course he couldn't say nothing because his mama don't really know what he out here in the streets doing. And so he is able to get his mama out of the kitchen, and Meech basically told him, yeah, my little cousin will be running things down here. You will be answering to him. We will be getting a better cut, and I want my work back. Meanwhile, he got a gun pointed on him the whole time. This is all being, talked about. So dude was like, all right, I got you. And Meech was like, yeah, because if you don't, your mama won't be able to find you. Okay? Period. So I like the way that Meech handled that whole situation. He was able to, exert his dominance and let these dudes know I ain't playing and I ain't the one. So he's literally taking cues from KG, who has been putting him up on game. Back in Detroit, Detective Bryant and Detective Jen and the rest of the detectives raid the place Mickey told them they'll be at. But lo and behold, it's only 2 workers there, but they were able to get, the work that was inside. But Detective Brian is feeling some type of way because once again, he still ain't got Meech. But Detective Jen is like, at least we got these 2 scumbags off the street and we got this work. It's something, you know what I'm saying? So your source didn't all the way play you, but of course he's still feeling some type of way because he looking like a fool in front of his colleague. Meech then returns to Detroit with the money that he made in Cleveland and gave it to KG at KG Little Spot. Everybody over there kicking it or whatever. And KG was like, you know what? That's what's up. Like, he's very proud of the moves that Meech is out here doing. So he was like, I got something I want to show you. So he take him in the back, and lo and behold, the dude that shot at him is laid out on a slab, honey. DIE, honey. He was like, yeah, we was able to find that dude. Like, yeah, you don't mess with me. And it's either you get down or you lay down, pretty much. And Meech just like looking like, okay. Like, this what type of time y'all on? Okay, I see that this dude, once again, is about their life, and I cannot screw him over because that could be me. And it's also showing him that, sometimes you got to move with force. Now, in real life with BMF, they really wasn't on all that, blicky type of time. Meech was able to control everybody by making sure everybody ate and keeping everybody pockets full, so nobody had a reason to turn their backs on him. You know what I'm saying? Because he was fair to everybody. There wasn't a lot of gunplay with BMF, based on what they said in the documentary. That if you have not watched it, you should. It's called Blowing Money Fast on Stars. So we then see Lamar, honey, shuffling through the streets of Detroit in the middle of the night in the rain, looking like he on an episode of Walking Dead, child. He ended up passing out in the streets, and then a car comes and Out comes Donnell Rawlins, the comedian. He was like, I got you, cuz, I got you. So he able to get him in the car before the police end up coming, because remember, the police is looking for him. And I'm like, oh Lord, Lamar is about to be on the mend soon. He about to be back and running. It's about to be a problem. You can't stop the rain. Now, oh dang, that's a juxtaposition of the You Can't Stop the Rain episode. He's in the rain. You can't stop Lamar. Oh my God, just put that together. So Detective Bryant ends up pulling up on B. Mickey again, and he was like, we were supposed to meet at this spot. He was like, I wasn't trying to play you. Like, we really was supposed to meet up there. So instead of, coming at him with force, he was like, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? You did come through. Here is a brochure of a facility I was able to get your mother in. It's better than where she at now. So B. Mickey was like, dang, ain't nobody ever did nothing like this for me, especially no cop. So now he has put B. Mickey in a situation where he feels like he has to come through for him, and like he owe him something because he's helping his mom. And I was like, oh, B. Mickey. All you had to do was go to Big Meech. He could have helped you put your mom in a better facility. Like, come on, dude. So B. Mickey ended up going to the record store and telling Meech, my bad that I wasn't able to come through, his issues with my mom. He steady lying on his mama child. And Meech was like, it's cool, but we all got to communicate with each other and let each other know what's going on if we going to make this pop and we going to make this work. And so the dudes was like, yeah, we hear you, but who are we supposed to answer to outside of you? Because Terry coming in here like he runs something and it's confusing. So he was basically like, Terry don't run nothing. If y'all can't get to me, y'all got to go through B. Mickey. And they was like, all right. And B. Mickey just standing there looking like, oh my God, like this was something that he really wanted, but now he don't want it because that's just giving him more info that he can then have to tell Detective Bryant, and it'll be going against, Meech and the fam or whatever. Like, he's literally snaking them. So we then go to Lucille, who is dressed up in her lingerie, honey, for her man. She is trying to get her marriage back on track. So Charles come in the room, was like, oh, okay, sookie now. Oh, sookie now. He looking like, oh, I'm about to get some of that good. So she was like, you like? Yeah, come a little bit closer. Yeah, on some Jill Scott type time. So he was like, yeah, you looking good. Did you buy that with the credit card you got in our daughter name? And baby, Lucille face dropped. She was looking like, how does nigga know that? What the heck? And he was like, why would you do that? Like, you about to mess up our daughter's name and stuff. And she was like, I'm tired of being dusty. I'm tired of being dusty and dirty. I'm tired of not having nothing. Can I live for once? Jeez. So he was, they get to arguing about their relationship. And he was like, she brings up the fact that, she found the girly magazines and she acts like it was so disgusting. He was like, okay, here we go. St. Lucille, get to say whatever she want about everybody else and condemn everybody else, but you ain't no better than nobody. And he was telling her, you treat sex with me like a chore. And she was like, it's been hard being everything for everybody. Like, I gotta take care of you, this household, our kids, everything. And he was like, girl, stop with the foolishness. And they just really couldn't come to any type of agreement on the situation. And it's just like, at this point, their relationship is pretty much DOA. Like, he said to her, like, I remember it was a time where you used to like me, and it's just like their relationship ain't what it used to be no more. It's tiring on both ends. It really honestly is. So Meech ends up at the end confronting Terry at the movie theater, because he bought out the movie theater for all the kids in the neighborhood to see Coming to America. And Terry was the one that brought their little sister down. And so he ended up confronting Terry about, once again, sticking his nose in his business. And Terry was like, dude, I'm the one that saved you. If it wasn't for me, you would be up Shit's Creek. They get to arguing, and Meech end up stealing on him. They end up fighting in a movie theater, child. And basically Meech was like, stay out my damn business or I'm gonna beat your ass again. And Terry ended up walking off pissed off. And in the end, with Terry's voiceover, he was like, now that there's a divide between them two, it would be easier for the ops to infiltrate, meaning B. Mickey and Lamar, because they're separate right about now. So, child, Overall, this episode was an A. I loved it. I loved the writing. I loved the pacing of everything. I loved the multiple storylines and context clues that was given. Everybody acted they butt off in this episode. I actually have not even been annoyed with Lala's acting. I feel like she's doing a better job at playing Markeisha than she ever did playing Keisha on Power. Wasn't that her name? Wasn't her name Keisha? I think it was. I don't even remember. Anyway, but overall, it was a great episode. I loved it. Looks like next episode is going to be even more lit. Let me know what y'all think about this episode down below in the comment section. What y'all think about Charles? What y'all think about Charles and Lucille's marriage? Do y'all think that Meech and Terry, little cousin down in Cleveland, gonna be able to handle running things, because he can't even control that Jerry curl child? So I don't know how he gonna be able to control a crew of dudes. What do you think about Terry and Meech's relationship? What do you think about this KG dude? Because I'm scared of him. I am scared of him. What y'all think about Lamar being on the loose? We got 2 psychos on the loose, child. I don't know. I'm nervous. That's all I got to say. Let's talk down below in the comment section, you guys. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.